Hello. There we go. Now I'm live. Live. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm live. Coming back at it again with the da 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 da. Coming back again. Let me do this again. So Ben is 30 years old. Oh. B equals 30. Ben is 30 years old and Daniel's 2 years old. Y equals 30 B plus 2. How many years will it take until Ben is only 3 times as old as Daniel? This one's a hard one. This is simple shit. I don't know. How did you get 12? Okay. Ben is 4 times as old as Isan. Ben is 4 times as old. I don't know. B equals 4I. B equals I Kevin is 2 times as old as Gabriella. Okay, equals 2x. 12 years ago, Kevin was 6 times as old as Gabriella. So it's going to be Kevin minus 12 equals 6 times x. I got this one. Okay, minus 12. Ah, I forgot this one. So I got this. So I have two equations. K equals 2x, so ooh, I'm feeling a buzz. Michael equals 3b. It's gonna be Michael minus 18 equals b minus 18 times 9. Not 24? I got that. Oh, I did. Why'd you do that? Oh, I solved for B. That's why. Kevin is 3 years older than Daniel, so K equals 3 plus D. 2 years ago, so it's going to be K minus 2. So we're going to solve for D. So it's going to be Oh, fuck, I was solving for Kevin's age. No. I want to solve for D. So I'm going to do okay. Ben is 20 years older than Daniel. 3 years ago. 3 years ago. Maybe B minus 3 equals. Ben was 3 times as old as Daniel. How old is Ben? So I want to solve for B. So I gotta change the top equation to B minus 20 equals D. Or B. Michael is 4 times as old as Brandon. So M equals 4 times B. And is also 27 years older than Brandon. M equals B plus 27. How old is Brandon? Awesome. Yes. Okay. Well, I don't know this one. She speaks 150 words per minute. So it's 150 plus 190p, and that equals 5. I don't know how to do this one. watching videos.
A factory has machines that produce toys, which are then packed by the factory's workers. One day, each machine produced 14 toys, and each worker packed 2 toys, so that a total of 40 toys remained unpacked. Additionally, the number of workers that day was 8 less than 7 times the number of machines. How many machines and workers were there? I encourage you to pause the video. This is a good little problem over here. All right, so let's define some variables. So let's say m is equal to the number of machines, and let's say that w is equal to the number of workers. Those seem like reasonable variables. So what does the first sentence tell us? It tells us one day each machine produced 14 toys.
Equals
So if each machine produced 14 toys, what is the total number of toys that are going to be produced? Well, the total number of toys that are going to be produced is going to be the number per machine times the number of machines. So this is 14m toys produced. So this is what is produced. Produced right over there. And then how many toys are going to be packed? Well, if each worker packed 2 toys, they tell us there, each worker packed 2 toys, so the total number that's going to be packed is going to be 2 toys per worker times the number of workers. So that right over here, that's the number of toys packed. And then they tell us the number of toys that remain, the total that remains unpacked. So the total that remains unpacked, we know that that is 40. Let me do that in a neutral color. So 40, so that we can put 40 as produced but not packed. Produced, not packed. That's the number, the total that remained unpacked. Well, how do we relate produced and packed to the produced that are not packed? Well, if we take the total that were produced, we subtract out the number that were packed, we're going to be left with the total that are unpacked. So just like that, we were able to set up a linear relationship between m and w. Well, just one isn't enough to solve for m and w, but we have another relationship. They say additionally, the number of workers that day, so the number of workers that day, I could say w, I'll write it over here, w, the number of workers that day was 8 less than 7 times the number of machines. Or you could say it was equal to 7 times the number of machines minus 8. That would be 8 less than 7 times the number of machines. 7m minus 8. And now we have 2 equations with 2 unknowns. If things work out well, we might be able to actually solve for w and m. So there is a bunch of ways to do it. Since this equation already has w explicitly solved for, we can do some substitution here. We can take this w and substitute it in for this w, or actually I should say we could take 7m minus 8 and substitute it in for this w, since the m and w, the pair that we want to find, need to satisfy both equations. And so we're going to get 14m minus 2 times, let me do that so minus 2 times, and instead of a w, I can write the 7m minus 8. So 7m minus 8, and we get that equals 40, is equal to 40. So we get, now it's just a little bit of algebra, 14m, and then, let's see, I'll do everything in a neutral color now. So negative 2 times 7m is negative 14m, and then negative 2 times negative 8 is plus 16, and then that's going to be equal to 40. Now, 14m minus 14m, that's just going to be 0, and we're left that 16 is equal to 40. Well, that's never going to be true. 16 is never going to be equal to 40. Doesn't matter what m and w are. In fact, m and w have been eliminated from this equation. This is impossible. This right over here is impossible for 16 to be equal to 40. And because of that, there are no solutions to this. There's no m and w pair that matches the constraints they gave us. So there is no solution. No solution. I'll put that in a little square there. Farmer Jan is a vegetable farmer who divides his field between broccoli crops and spinach crops. Last year, he grew 6 tons of broccoli per acre, so 6 tons of broccoli per acre, and 9 tons of spinach, 9 tons of spinach per acre, for a total of 93 tons of vegetables. This year, he grew 2 tons of broccoli per acre, so this year he grew 2 tons of broccoli per acre, and 3 tons of spinach per acre, and 3 tons of spinach per acre, for a total of 31 tons of vegetables. How many acres of broccoli crops and how many acres of spinach crops does Farmer Jan have? So let's think about this. So let's say that the
6b
number of
plus
acres
9s
of broccoli crops, let's
93.
call that B, and let's say the acres of spinach crops, let's call that S. So how much broccoli is he going to grow in, I guess you could say, last year? Last year, how much broccoli did he grow? And let me just write this down. This is last year. Last year. And they tell us last year he grew 6 tons of broccoli per acre. So if he grew 6 tons of broccoli per acre and he has B acres, well, that means he grew 6 tons per acre times B acres. So he grew 6B tons of broccoli last year. And by the same logic, he grew how much spinach? Well, 9 tons of spinach per acre times S acres. So 9S tons of spinach. And then the total is 93 tons. So for a total of 93 tons of vegetables. So this is going to be equal to 93. So now let's think about this year. And in general, when you tackle these, just think about, well, set the variables in general to what they're asking for, and then how can you use the information that they're giving us? So this year, how much broccoli would he have grown? Well, he grew 2 tons of broccoli per acre. So he grew 2 tons per acre. He has the same number of acres, we can assume that. So 2 tons per acre times B acres is going to be 2B tons of broccoli. And by that same logic, it's going to be, he grew 3 tons of spinach per acre. Well, he has S acres. Each of those acres, he's growing 3 tons of spinach per acre. So it's going to be 3S tons of spinach. And they tell us what that total is. That total is for a total of 31 tons of vegetables. So this is going to be equal to 31. And so now we have a system of 2 equations with 2 unknowns that we can use to solve for B and S. So let's see, what do we want to solve for first? Well, what we could do, let me rewrite the top equation. So we have 6b plus 9s is equal to 93. Is
Fuck, I
equal
forgot
to
to charge my
93.
headset.
And the second equation, well, let's try to eliminate. Let's try to eliminate the b's. So let's multiply the second equation by -3. So negative. I'm going to multiply the left-hand side by -3, and I'm going to multiply the right-hand side by -3. And so what am I going to get? -3 times 2b is -6b. That was the whole point by multiplying it by -3. -3 times 3s is -9s, and then -3 times 31 is going to be -93. So what do we get if we now add the 2 sides of these equations? So on the left-hand side, 6b minus 6b, that's 0. 9s minus 9s, that's 0. We're going to get just 0. On the right-hand side, we get 93 minus 93. Well, that's still just going to be 0. So we have this situation where we get 0 equals 0, which is going to be true no matter what x and y are. And so this is a system with an infinite number of solutions. So this has infinite number of solutions. So one way we could think about it is, These two constraints, they're not giving us enough information. There's an infinite number of B and S combinations that would satisfy these equations. So they're not giving us enough information to say how exactly what B and S are. So there is
An electronics warehouse.
What was it again?
not enough.
Oh,
Not
okay.
An electronics warehouse ships televisions and DVD players in certain combinations to retailers throughout the country. And they tell us that the weight of 3 televisions and 5 DVD players is 62.5 pounds, and the weight of 3 televisions and 2 DVD players, so they're giving us different combinations, is 52 pounds. Create a system of equations that represents the situation, then solve it to find out how much each television and DVD player weighs. Well, the two pieces of information they gave us, and each of these statements can be converted into an equation. The first one is that the weight of 3 televisions and 5 DVD players is 62.5 pounds. Then they told us that the weight of 3 televisions and 2 DVD players is 52 pounds. So we can translate these directly into equations. If we let T to be the weight of a television and D to be the weight of a DVD player, this first statement up here says that 3 times the weight of a television, or 3 televisions, plus 5 times the weight of a DVD player is going to be equal to 62.5 pounds. That's exactly what this first statement is telling us. The second statement, the weight of 3 televisions and two DVD players. So if I have 3 televisions and 2 DVD players, so the weight of 3 televisions plus the weight of 2 DVD players, they're telling us that that is 52 pounds. And so now we've set up the system of equation. We've done the first part to create a system that represents the situation. Now we need to solve it. Now, one thing that's especially tempting when you have two systems and both of them have something where it's, you have a 3t here and you have a 3t here, what we can do is we can multiply one of the systems by some factor so that if we were to add this equation to that equation, we would get one of the terms to cancel out. And that's what we're going to do right here. And you can do this. You can do this business of adding equations to each other. Because remember, when we learned this at the beginning of algebra, anything you do to one side of an equation, if I add 5 to one side of an equation, I have to add 5 to another side of the equation. So if I add this business to this side of the equation, if I add this blue stuff to the left side of the equation, I can add this 52 to the right-hand side because this is saying that 52 is the same thing as this thing over here. This thing is also 52. So if we're adding this to the left-hand side, we're actually adding 52 to it. We're just writing it a different way. Now, before we do that, what I want to do is multiply the second blue equation by -1. And I want to multiply it by -1. So negative 3t plus, I could write negative 2d is equal to negative 52. So I haven't changed the information in this equation. I just multiplied everything by -1. The reason why I did that is because now if I add these two equations, these 3t terms are going to cancel out. So let's do that. Let's add these two equations. And remember, all we're doing is we're adding the same thing to both sides of this top equation. We're adding essentially negative 52 now that we've multiplied everything by a -1. This negative 3t 15 plus 2.5, right? 5 times 0.5 is going to be equal to, let's see, 5. So this has solved our system. The weight of a DVD player,
Did he just round up?
another 10, so it's going to be 45. So this is going to be equal to 45. Now you can divide both sides of this equation by 3, and we get t is equal to 15. So we've solved.
Oh, I forgot the point 5. Yeah.
You've gone to a fruit stand to get some fresh produce. You notice that the person in front of you gets 5 apples and 4 oranges for $10. You get 5 apples and 5 oranges for $11. Can we solve for the price of an apple and an orange using this information in a system of linear equations in two variables? If yes, what is the solution? If no, what is the reason we cannot? So we're trying to figure out the price of an apple and the price of an orange. So I would use A for apple, but I don't like using O for orange because O looks too much like a 0. So I'll just say X for apples. Let's let X equal the price of apples. Price of apples. And let's let Y equal the price of oranges. Price of oranges. So let's describe what happened to the person in line in front of us. They bought 5 apples. So how much did they spend on apples? Well, they bought 5 apples times X dollars per apple. So they spent 5X dollars on their 5 apples. And they bought 4 oranges. So they spent they bought 4 oranges times Y dollars per orange. So they spent 4Y on oranges. So the total amount that they spent is 5X plus 4Y. And they tell us that this is $10. This is equal to $10. Now you get in line and you buy 5 apples. So you buy 5 apples, just like the guy in front of you, and you paid X dollars per apple. So you're going to pay 5 apple combination, but we got a different 5Y is equal to Y. Now let's figure out the price of apples. So they spent a total of $10. You can divide both sides by 5 in order to 6/5 dollars. Or you could say that X is equal to 6/5, which is the same thing as 1 1/5, which is the same thing as $1.20. So it's $1 per orange and $1.20 per apple. So we absolutely could figure out the prices of apples and oranges using the information given.
That's what I got.
As a birthday gift, Zoe gave her niece an electronic piggy bank that displays the total amount of money in the bank as well as the total number of coins. After depositing some number of nickels and quarters only, so we only have nickels and quarters, the display read money $2, number of coins 16. How many nickels and quarters did Zoe put in the bank? So let's define some variables here.
It's going to be X plus Y equals 16. And then X nickels plus Y quarters equals $2. So I want to solve for X, so I'll just do X equals 16 minus Y, so it's going to be, so this one's going to be 16 minus Y plus Y equals 2. Whoa. That doesn't work. What if I do Y equals, oh, what the fuck? This doesn't work.
Let's let n equal the number of nickels, and I'll write let here. Let's let q be equal to the number of quarters. The number of quarters. So how many total coins do we have? Well, it's going to be the number of nickels plus the number of quarters. So we have the nickels
That's
plus
what I
the
did.
quarters need to be equal to, well, it tells us we have 16 total coins. So if we add up the total number of nickels plus the number of quarters, we have 16 coins. So that's one equation right there. And then how much total money do we have?
Oh,
Well, however many.
I know what to do. Substitution didn't work. So what I can do is, no, but if I multiply, it doesn't
How many
work.
nickels we have, we can multiply that times 0.05, and that'll tell us how much money we have in nickels. So 0.05 times the nickels plus the amount of money we have in quarters. Well, that'll just be 25 cents per quarter, or 0.25 of a dollar.
Oh, retarded. It's gonna be x plus y equals 16. And it's gonna be 0.05 x plus 0.25 y equals $2. So I want to solve for x. So it's gonna be x equals y minus x equals 16 minus y. So the new equation is going to be 5 times 16 minus 0.25 2. So it's going to be 0.05 times 16 equals 0.8, 0.8 minus 0. No, that's wrong. That's so wrong. We don't know what y is, so y equals 24. So if y equals 24, I messed up again. It's gonna be 0.05 times 16 minus y plus 0.25y equals 2. It's gonna be 0.8 minus 0.05y plus 0.25y equals 2. 0.25 minus 0.05. It's gonna be 0.2. It's gonna be 0.8 plus 0.2 y equals 2. This is going to be 0.2 y equals 1.2. 0.2 divided by 0.2 equals 6. So if y equals 6, so it's going to be 10. So there's 10 nickels and 6 quarters. Let's see. 6 quarters is $1.50 plus 10 nickels, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50 plus 50 cents.
So let me write 0.25 times the number of quarters. For example, if I had 4 quarters and no nickels, I'd have 4 times 25 cents, which is $1, and no money due to nickels. So however many nickels times 5 cents plus however many quarters times 25 cents. That's the total amount of money I have. And her piggy bank tells me that that is $2. That is equal to $2. So we have two equations with two unknowns. We can solve for n and q. And let's do it by substitution. So let's see, the easiest thing that we could do here, let's solve for q over here. So if n plus q is equal to 16, we can subtract n from both sides of this equation. So if n plus q is equal to 16, if we subtract n from both sides, we get q is equal to 16 minus n. So all I did is I rewrote this first constraint right over there. So since this first constraint is telling us that q, the number of quarters, must be 16 minus the number of nickels, in the second constraint, every place that we see a q, every place we see a quarters, we can replace it with 16 minus n. So let's do that. So the second constraint, when we make the substitution, becomes, and then 0.25 times negative n is minus 0.25 n, and that is going to be equal to $2. Let me scroll. Divide both sides by negative 0.2, or I could write negative 0.0, negative 0.20, the same thing. We're not going to go too deep into the significant digits. It's going to be 10. N is equal to 10. And then we know that q is equal to 16 minus n from the first constraint. Q is equal to 16 minus n, which is 10, which is going to be 6. So Zoe put 10 times 5.
You are at a Parisian cafe with a friend. A local in front of you buys a cup of coffee and a croissant for $5 or 530 euro. When you and your friend get 2 cups of coffee and 2 croissants, you are charged 14 euro. Can we solve for the price of a cup of coffee and croissant using the information in a system of linear equations in 2 variables? If yes, what is the solution? If no,
So coffee plus x plus y equals $5.30. 530 euros. And then it's gonna be 2x plus 2y equals 14. No solution.
this, we're left with 0. And on the right-hand side, 14 minus 1060 will get you to 340. And there's no x and y that you can think of. There's no magical x and y that can all of a sudden make 0 equal 340. So there is no solution. And the only explanation over here is that the local was charged a cheaper rate.
Skip, 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 skip. I'm ready for it. Just open up my magical chest first. Dun, dun, dun. Oh fuck. Had the wrong deck. That guy was level 13, so it wasn't gonna end up good. Watch this prediction. Ready? Mhm. Okay. I'm gonna do some substitution for this one. So I'm gonna go for x 50x 550 divided by 50, 11 minus 30 over 50, but I can do 5, 10, 15, 20, 36 over 10, which that equals to x equals 11 minus 3 over 5. So if I do 44 times 11 minus 30 over 5y 36y 5 32 44 times 11 is 484 minus 44 times 3 132 132 over 5y plus 36y equals 532. I'm gonna have to multiply everything by 5 now. So it's gonna be, wow, 484 times 5 holy shit. 660 divided by 5 is 132 plus 36 times 5 and then 180 minus 132 48y equals 2660 minus 2420. Subtract that. So it's going to be 2660 minus 2420. It's going to be negative 48y equals 240. 48, negative 48. So y equals, I'll just do divided by 48 plus 5. Ducks cost $5. Put that back into the original equation. So it's going to be 36 times 5. So that's going to be 180. 532. 352. So 44 divided by 44. 352 divided by 44 equals 8. Wow. I'm a beast. Each baby dinosaur made 15 paintings, and each adult dinosaur made 7. 15x plus 7y. So each baby dinosaur made 15 paintings, and each dinosaur made 7 paintings. made a total of 208 paintings in total equals 208. And there were 3 times as many baby dinosaurs as adult dinosaurs. So y equals 15. So y equals 3 times 15. So I have the y now. It's a baby dinosaur, so it's gonna be 7 times 45. Oh, I did something wrong. Each baby dinosaur made 15 paintings. Each baby dinosaur made 15 paintings. And each adult dinosaur made 7 paintings. The entire herd made 208, and there were 3 times as many baby dinosaurs as adult dinosaurs. So y equals 3x. So now this is just going to be 15x plus 7, 3x. I'm doing something wrong here. Oh. Each baby dinosaur made 15 paintings, and each adult made 7 paintings. It's going to be 15x plus 7x equals 208. And there were 3 times as many baby dinosaurs. So y equals 3x. me just plug it in. 15 times 5, 75. Oh, I see what I did wrong. 15x plus 7y equals 208. Baby dinosaurs x equals 3 times y. That's why. So plug that in now. So it's going to be 15 times 2. Okay, so if y equals 4, so it's going to be 15x plus 12. 4, 8, 12. Yep, 12. There we go. 12. And so there were 12 and there were 4. Oof. Almost didn't get that one. Climb weight of an octopi llama is 450. X plus y equals 450. The average weight of 3 llamas is 190 kilograms more than the average weight of one octopi. So the average weight of 3 llamas is 190 kilograms. So llama in this one is y, so 3y equals x plus 190. So what I can do is, let me find for x. So a llama. Let me just plug that in. So it's gonna be 450 minus 160. X equals 290. Average we have 3 llamas is 100. Average we have 1 pi. Let me see. X is 290. X plus y equals 260. If doubled, Malcolm X must be 80 kilometers per hour more than Ravi's. So X equals 2 times y plus 80. So I have X already. So it's going to be 2 times y plus 80 plus y equals 260. 2y. This doesn't make sense. So if Malcolm plus Ravi equals 260. If doubled, Malcolm's maximum speed would be 80 kilometers more than Ravi's maximum speed. So it would be doubled Malcolm's maximum speed. Oh, I don't think I need it to. So I can just do y plus 8 plus 80 plus y equals 260. 2y equals 260 minus 80. 180 divided by 2 So y equals 90. Fuck, that didn't work. Whoa. Plus y divided by 2 equals 260. So multiply 2. 2x, 2, 1, 2. So I cancel. Okay, so we do 2x. Okay. So it's gonna be 22. So if we multiply this by negative 2, it will equal negative 44, negative 6, negative 10, infinite. Neil was an adventurous traveler. He skydives twice in every island he visits, and skydives 3 times in every peninsula he visits. So it's gonna be 2 times I plus 3 times P. I don't know. So you can solve this. So 2x 3y equals 45. Oh, okay, you can't solve that. Twelve and seven. That one kind of messed me up. So 5x plus 4y equals 10, and 5x plus 5y equals 11. Yeah, we can solve that because we multiply this by negative 1, negative 5x, cancels by, yeah. I'll have to actually solve it. It's going to be negative 5x, so this cancels. This one equals negative 1 equals negative 11. So this equals 2 negative 1. So yx is what? So orange is $1. When Femic charges her phone, it gains 2 percentage points each minute. Two x plus y. Oh, this one's tough. So when Femic charges her phone, gains 2 percentage points each minute. So it's 2. So it's 2 x. So it's going to be 2x. When Femic uses her phone, it loses 5 each minute. Minus 5y. So I'm going to say equals 60 seconds. When user phone some time. So when she uses it, so it's going to be 5y equals. She charged it for twice, so it's going to be 2x minus 10 minus 10. So I'm gonna solve for. I don't know how to solve this. How did you? Whew. This one's gonna be a rough one. So Ben is 39 years old. How do I solve this? Ben is 39 years old and Nissan is 3 years old. How many years will it take until Ben is only 4 times as old as I mean, I could just Guess. Ben is 39 years old and Isan is 3 years old. So A for age equals 39 plus 3. How many years will it take? Ben is only 4 times. So let's say 10 years goes by, or 11. Ben will be 49, 50. 11 years goes by, Ben will be 50, and Isan will be 14. So that must be more. Let's say 15 years goes by. He's going to be 49, so he's going to be 54. And 15 years goes by. So I have to go lower. So let's say 10. So it'll be 49. He's going to be 13. To go a little bit lower, so let's say 9, 48, 12, 9 years. Let me see, step by step. I knew it. 39 plus y equals 3 plus y, 4. Yeah. $20 per hour as a carpenter. 20x plus 25y for a total $690. X plus y equals 30. So I can do x equals 30 minus y. So 20 times 30 minus y plus 25, 690. So it's going to be 20 times 30, 600 minus 20y plus 25y, 690 minus 600 minus 600. That equals 5y equals 90 divided by 5 divided by 5y equals 18. Yep. So y equals 18. Put that in. 30 minus 18. X equals 12. So X, carpenter, 12, blacksmith, 18. percent decide to want to charge their produce. They need $5 for 1 apple, 1 orange. So x plus y equals 5. They also need $15 for 3 apples, 3 oranges. 3x plus 3y equals 15. I can't do it. If I multiply it by -3, -3x cancels, -3y cancels. No, too many solutions. How many solutions is this thing? If I multiply the top by -2, -2x that cancels. It would be -4y that cancels. And this one's gonna be -2, -4. No solution. I have to craft that. If I multiply this top one by -2, this is gonna be -2x plus -4y equals -4. These cancel, these cancel. 0 equals -12. So I just have to do 2y equals -x plus 2 divided by 2. Y equals -1. It's going to be a 1, -1 over 2. So it's going to be -1, 1, 2. Next equation is going to be 4y equals -2x minus 8 divided by 4 divided by 4 divided by 4. Y equals -x over 2 minus 2. So this one's going to be -2. And same thing. 1, 1, 2. How many solutions does this have? Okay, so we already have y in there. So now we can just do 2 times 2x plus 6 equals 4x plus 6. 4x plus 12 equals 4x plus 6. And if I subtract 4x, x 12 equals 6. No solution. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bada bing, bada boom, 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 bada bing, boom, 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 boom. Bada bing, bada boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Maybe X Flame? The fuck? He has 18,000 subscribers? Holy shit. What his views got? 300,000.